Welcome, everybody. My name is Charles Cook. It's great to be with you, managing partner here at Cook Baxter Immigration. Time flew. All of a sudden, it's 2:01 instead of 2 o'clock. I'm sorry for those who've been waiting. I just lost track of time. I was reading all kinds of crazy stuff that's going on with diversity lottery numbers right now. So let's get right into it. Let me just give you an update on other stuff, because apparently in this $3.5 trillion bill for infrastructure, the Democrats say they have an agreement for is apparently some sort of pathway to legality, regularization for a good chunk of the folks that are in the country without papers. Una cosa de que escuchamos anoche es que los senadores están de acuerdo con gastar 3.8 trillones de dólares, un número inimaginable. Pero incluido en su paquete es una vía a los que tienen a legalización por mucha gente. No tenemos los detalles, nadie tiene detalles, y todavía no es una propuesta, pero es la primer sabor que tenemos, que el Congreso tal vez hará algo. It's the first taste that Congress may do something on immigration. Also, we learned that yesterday, for all our DV friends, that the Ming Amendment was included in a House appropriations package, which would reserve all the DV 2020 and 2021 numbers, and supposedly all the other numbers that haven't been used. And that's going to cause Stephen Miller to have a conniption fit. I think his head's going to explode. Again, a proposal. We can't stop fighting. We can't stop fighting, which is why Monday is a big day. So on Monday, what do we got? In front of Judge Mehta, I will be there with my colleague Greg Siskin to do oral argument in the Go versus Blinken matter. Attached to that Go versus Blinken matter are two other DV 2021 cases that are not ours. And apparently the judge is also having at around the same time, at the same day, same time, we don't know when and what order, the Gomez Acker case. Woo! The crowd goes wild. So remember, I don't know if you remember when, I think it was 2 months ago, the judge asked me if I wanted to have Gomez the same day. And, I said, yeah, I think that'd be fine. And how many people to react? I don't have a problem with it. So he said it, and then everybody else went nuts. Oh, we can't wait that long. We can't wait that long. Oh, that's terrible. You're a horrible person. Yeah, and what's happening? You don't, when the judge suggests something, just go with the flow. You can oppose stuff that's illegal, but judges aren't going to oppose anything that's illegal. Go with the flow next time. All right, relax. I think we've got a really good shot. I think I've got a great case on both cases, and we're excited. Now, the other thing I learned today is that we did call the court and say, how do you want to do this? And we were told by his clerk that they'll get back to us before Friday or by Friday to talk about it. I'll be flying up on Sunday afternoon to Washington, D.C., preparing, and then court starts at 1 o'clock. It will be available online, but you have to understand it's limited. The court doesn't pay for unlimited Zoom use. And my understanding is that they maxed out the video, I think at 500, although I'm not sure. We will inquire with the court to see if they can up that, because we think there'll be more interest in that. Of course, if you're in Washington, D.C., technically it's a public hearing, although the court is also technically closed. We have to get permission. Our name has to be on a list to be able to go in the building. So I'm guessing not going to be a public audience there, but it is public. So I don't know how they handle that. Don't fly to D.C., okay, just to go to this hearing, because D.C. in July, it's not really a place you generally want to be anyway. It was built on a swamp, and, I'm not sure they cleared the whole thing out yet. So we're excited. We think we've got great stuff. We want to thank all of our plaintiffs and our friends who have been sending us incredibly interesting statistics on the DV lottery. Now, I tweeted about this. I think I tweeted a little bit long. I was corrected a few minutes ago about this. I want to kind of look at this email. Let's see, who is this from? We got the email from Eunice. So Eunice sent me this earlier today. So he sent us a graphic that they had put together, which I had misread. AP, which I thought meant at post, administrative processing. So there's 73 cases in administrative processing. Okay. There are 300, this is as of Monday, right? As of July 16th, I guess. No. It's as of, I think it's as of Monday. There's 379 cases in transit from the KZC to consulate. So 379. I mean, that's still a nothing burger, right? They've issued 3,588. There are another 2,609 ready. I'm assuming that means ready to send out from the KCC to the consulates. 530 have been refused, not unusual. That number is actually kind of low. Total KNs have got to be those issued and ready, and the total visas that would be available. So are you really saying, and I guess Eunice is telling me this, that they've only issued 3,588 visas? I mean, when you think about that, that's bananas. How is that even possible? Eunice also sent me a list of all the consulates and who's issued the most visas. So the UAE has issued 88. Can't even read some of these because the number is so scroggly here. Someplace issued 18. Kazakhstan's issued 254. Kyrgyzstan's done 104. Let's see what else. Who else has got big ones? Morocco has done 316. So Morocco, if you're a Moroccan, obviously your chances of getting a green card are much higher. Ukraine has done 140, 150, it looks like. Kosovo's done 47. Saudi's done a whole 18. How nice of them to do that. Let's see. We've got Macedonia's done 71. Fiji's done 22. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Cameroon's done 218. So these are visas issued at the consulates, but it's the court issued an order yesterday telling the Department of State to provide him with a list of all the. In fact, I'm going to look up exactly what the court's order was because this is a fascinating request by the judge. He wants accurate information so he can actually make a decision, right? So he can say, well, how much have you done? Now think about this. Don't you think it's interesting? Here it is. So the judge wants by Friday at 5:00, which gives us no time to issue a response to it, a declaration setting forth the number of adjudicated DV 2020 applications, including the total number issued, and 2, the number of interviews scheduled for DV 2021 winners. Now, unless the Department of State, now that we know as of today what those numbers were, unless magically the Department of State literally says, oh my gosh, we've got to get this done. And Monday they come out and say, no, we've interviewed 1,000 people in the last day and we've scheduled 30,000 people for interviews. It's going to look bad for them. It's going to look really bad because first of all, the judge knows because of what they did last September that they're capable of doing these visas. They're capable of doing the visas. They evidenced that last year with the court order. 2, that's issue 1. They're capable of doing them. 2, they didn't do them. 3, they intentionally ignored the judge's order as it pertained to the new fiscal year with no legitimate reason for doing so. And without an appeal, by the way. Appeal's gone. So, that's disappeared, their appeal in this case. And 4, in the, let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, let's say 9 months, they've only issued 3,500 visas. he's going to say, wait a second, you issued 6,000 last September. So it's not that you're not capable of it, and it's that you simply chose not to do it. Oh, and of course, then we sued them in November of last year saying, hey, you're not doing it. Now, of course, that didn't get a final decision because Biden won, although we would have won that case if Biden had won, but I prefer that Biden won. But then Biden didn't move on until February, and then still till April, they didn't issue any visas. I mean, I would love to have them give this order. I would love to know this number. And we really do have this number from prior declarations, so we can compare what they've done since they've been working on it. But as all our clients know, they haven't done anything at the KCC. I mean, KCC's not sitting on it. In fact, the last affidavit that was filed by the KCC seemed to indicate that, they're working on DV 2022s. We're not. And they. So what did if really all the KCC does is DVs, at least a chunk of the DC, well, maybe only 5 people, right? What were they doing for months? And were they getting paid? They were getting paid. What were they doing? I mean, one person couldn't come into the office and work, or you didn't have a big enough space. We've been at my office since April of last year. You space out. You have staggered times. You didn't do any of that? You didn't consider it important enough to do a legally required job? So what can I tell you? I'm flabbergasted by this. So we're going forward. I'm looking forward to, I'm going to be doing the argument for the Go plaintiffs. There's nothing divided yet. I am not familiar with the complaints in the other cases. There is a different government lawyer, by the way, in each of the other cases. There are 3 government lawyers in this case. We'll be dealing with Mr. Carilli, who we've dealt with in a lot of cases. Great, good lawyer, really, really good lawyer, good to deal with. He's honest. Been straightforward with us the whole time. Never overpromised anything, never underdelivered. I don't know if they're dividing arguments, what they're going to do, but he did tell me that the other cases do have other issues that are raised, and that ours is really focused laser-like on the key issue: interviews, visas issued, visa reservation. That's it. Those are the key issues. You didn't issue the visas. You're required to issue the visas. If you can't get them done, you got to reserve the visas. There's at this point, there's no reason not to not reserve all the visas. Unlike last year, where we believe the judge used a skewed metric, and actually, I've got an interesting metric. I'm actually going to bring. I think unless I can use a PowerPoint on the screen with the judge, I've got a really interesting metric to show the judge about how they compared last year to this year. And they just basically, in South Africa, they just basically didn't issue any visas. Just issued none of them. So even though they're issuing the same number of IR cases, immediate relative, conditional relative, immediate relatives, they're doing all those. Those numbers are pretty static year to year. And if that's what he's comparing it to, and this is, those aren't, they're required, obviously, but they're never going to go away. Not like family-based cases or employment-based cases or DVs, which expire after the year. So it's going to be fun. I love our arguments. Arguments have always been something I've loved to do for the last 32 years. I've been a lawyer, and we'll be prepared. If you are our kind listeners, if you have data points that you want to share with us, and you can put it in a nice chart, comparing 18, 19, 20, 21, or better yet, go back to 16. The last year we had a real DV lottery that included everybody. Look at those numbers going forward. We shouldn't be seeing, last year the government had 6 months in fiscal year 2020 to come up with a plan to deal with COVID for the new fiscal year. And they didn't. They even promoted the guy at the KCC who did squat diddly in the 6 months. And he did a great job of doing squat diddly more this year. So maybe he'll become the Secretary of State next time because he does such a great job. mean, all due respect, sir, it's really disappointing that you have literally sacrificed people's lives. Because the thing is, it's not just about, you'll get it eventually, but you're costing people a portion of their lives in the United States. One, you're also not being honest with people, which is a big problem because you're sowing distrust amongst a potentially new immigrant population because you're lying to them about how you don't process cases. And three, you're being disingenuous to people that aren't going to get the DV because we know that half the people that won aren't going to get the DV. Well, in DV 2020, not quite half in 2020, but more than half in 2021. Even if they processed it normally, there are going to be 80,000 people who don't get the DV. And right now, they're telling me, we process in case order, which is not true. It's never been true. They process in case order by who's documentarily qualified, then they lied to people about how to get documentarily qualified or don't respond to them. I'm gonna get worked up. I'm gonna have Greg sitting next to me, put his hand on my shoulder and say, "Calm down, dude. Calm down." Let's go ahead and get some questions in today. By the way, I just got back to I went to the dentist this morning. Got 2 new crowns in my mouth. I expect the Advil to be wearing off here in the next 30 minutes. So I need to get done so I can get some more Advil in my body. All right, Brandon, good to see you, my friend. Live long and prosper. Ronald, Kate, what quite confusion's roaming around. All right. Well, it's Ronald, I agree with you. I think this is my error in how I read the email. Because the email chart that I was given said total visas with derivatives. And I should have done a better job adding that up. Because that is 3,588 issued, 2699 ready for interview, and 5864, I'm assuming, derivatives. So that's 11,000 people. And let's just say, okay, those they get issued. I mean, they're ready to be interviewed today, tomorrow, whenever. Although we just have a client set for an interview on September 30th. What nonsense is that, by the way? That's still only 20% of the numbers. I mean, 11,000 out of 54,000, it's only 11%. I mean, 20%. What's the rest of it? If we are 75% through the fiscal year, almost 83% through the fiscal year now, and they've got 20% done? I mean, no private company would tolerate that. Anyway, thank you, Brandon. My bad. My confusion. Will this hearing be the final decision? Well, the hearing will not be the final decision. The final decision will be the decision from the judge, and then, of course, the government can appeal that. We don't know when the judge will rule on this case. I suspect it will be pretty quickly because if you recall, when I had my last meeting with status conference with the judge, he indicated that his August was completely booked up. And that's probably because he's got a lot of these insurrection cases. So, and he's got a big, giant antitrust case. I mean, like giant. So I suspect he'll clear the deck by the end of the month. That's my best guesstimate. Talk about Brazil K1s. Christopher Herrera, Brazil K1s. We're pending the motion to dismiss. That's kind of where we are in Brazil K1s. They canceled all the interviews in August, September. We don't know why. No explanation. They told people to go back in that had August and September interviews to set appointments. Maybe everybody should go try to set appointments. But from the court perspective, we are in the process of the motion to dismiss. All lawyers will be the same time. Well, that's a great question, John. Or Al's John. Is it John Al's? Is John your last name? Is it your first name? I don't know. I mean, all the lawyers will have to listen to each other, yes. Although I hope it doesn't go forever because I do have a 5 o'clock flight back to Atlanta. I would like to come back that night. If not, I'll take a later flight and go the next day. Osuma, is it true that they will reserve? Well, as I talked earlier about this, Osama Mahrouch. I don't know if I said that right. I love saying other people's names. It's kind of cool. DV 2022, I can guarantee you, is being affected by this because if the court orders them to issue all the DVs from 2020 and 2021, that means at the same time they're doing DV 2022. Remember, they're only staffed for one DV at a time. So, but of course, you pay money to them, so why don't they hire more people to do the job? I'm just saying. I can tell you, if I was in charge of that place, this would not be a problem. Osama Saeed, why does such a distinguished Ghost case get placed in over the rest of the cases? Well, because we have the best case. Dasha Sayatova, optimistically looking forward to. Oh, thank you very much, Dasha. I appreciate it. All the good thoughts, the good vibes, the prayers. We're going to use them all. I can take them all you got. Been applying for DV for many years. I need to be selected. Yes, I know. It's a once in a lifetime chance. I agree. Kabul and Moscow are two very special problems that they're going to have to figure out, because the U.S. military's gone from Kabul in August, end of August, middle of August, something like that. Supposedly the Turks are going to come in and run the place. I'm sure that'll go over really well. Let's see. Marlia, good to see you from El Peru. Arquitectural, case number 416. Well, 416, like, okay. If I don't know. I don't track. That's a question for Britt Simon. Go to YouTube and watch Britt Simon and ask him that question. No hay de qué, Jessica, qué gusto en verte. Oh, por los con DACA, pidiendo DACA de nuevo. Ya están asignando más personas para adjudicar los 80,000 aplicaciones que son pendientes. But they finally announced Mayorkas and the clown show running the DHS under Biden that, hey, they're going to assign more people to adjudicate the 80,000 pending DACA cases. How did you let it get to 80,000? What is wrong with you people? Really? You sucked in their money and did nothing with it? I mean, really? Sin vergüenza, man. You guys are sin vergüenza. Do I have a confirmation? Possibly. Of what? Well, again, I already answered that question. Good to see you. I don't speak Arabic, so I can't pronounce your name. Nima, just because you have to confirm vision. How long will be that actually? That's a good question. How and in which way and what priority is state going to issue 9,095 DV 2021 visas? We don't know. Generally speaking, a court is not going to give that level of specificity to Department of State. But I would hope that in oral argument, they will explain how they will issue those, or he will demand that they provide a method by which they will issue those, so that if necessary, it can be objected to. And of course, remember, my only part of the Acker case is we have 12 clients left that haven't gotten it. We're fighting for them. We also have the pending class action for people who had visas, but they couldn't get here in time, and their visas expired. They couldn't come. So if your visas were issued before April 30, March 30th, really, you couldn't come. And so they were not renewed. You didn't get to come, and some people didn't get their visas reissued. We're asking that they get their visas reissued and not count against the 1995. Why should they? They've already been counted, right? Let's see. Dasha, what shall Russian citizens do in case of a partisan knocking? Well, the embassy is going to be closed. I think it's July 30th is their last day, really, of giving visas in anything other than diplomats. So we don't know. We're going to be asking for that explanation on Monday. Okay. Let's see. Daria, happy to see you, Ms. Cook. Wait for the 19th. What are the contact info to join you? We don't know. We'll post that. Follow me on the Twitter machine. If best place, Twitter has all the updates right there. All right, that's all your updates right there. Let's see. I kind of skipped ahead or skipped behind. Let's see. There we go. What about Madrid? Madrid, I mean, as far as DVs, I don't know. But as far as other visas, they're issuing other visas. We just had a client get theirs there. Syed, as you are in pitch, university is held for each year. Lucky people. Yeah, I got all that. Let's see. We need to hear the worst case scenario for Go. Why? I would say you don't want to hear it from me because I don't give worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you are living the worst case scenario today. That's your worst case scenario. Anything we do is going to be better. All right. Let's see. Switzerland. Yes, Liz keeps reminding me that they've issued. In fact, let me look if I could find this this email I got. If it has this information in it, I want to see if I can find it here. Let's see. I want to cancel out of that. Let's see if I can find this. I get so many emails. Eunice sent me this. What does Byrne say? All right. Byrne, let's see. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy to me that Byrne, which has been good on a lot of visas during this whole crisis. I don't get it. Maybe they don't want the Swiss to leave. No more Swiss in America. We have enough cheese. Don't come. That's a Swiss cheese joke. It's a dad joke. Get used to it. Mayor Isa, go play with Lebanon. I know your embassy's working. I don't know. I don't do numbers. Let's see. Al's John also wants the worst case scenario. Look, we're going to win this. And we win and our plaintiffs win it, which means they get their visas. Okay, we don't have a class action. We don't represent a class. We represent our clients. All right, so our clients need to be issued their visas, and hopefully everybody else can get theirs too. But we're going to be asking the reserve visas as well, because if our plaintiffs don't get theirs, we want them to get them after the fiscal year ends. Algeria giving priority to paper visas, but DV 5 days left. I don't know, 5 days left. It's 5 days what? Maybe before the hearing. Let's see. Greeting from Atal Pratik. Good to see you in Nepal. I've got to come to Nepal one day. I hear it's just beautiful. Andre, thank you very much. We're praying too. Nima, in case it confirms, don't know. Don't know. Well, I will tell you, I do know. The judge has to issue a final decision in the Gomez case for those numbers to begin issuing. The government can appeal and ask the Court of Appeals to stay that decision. I don't know if they will. So the answer is I don't know, but hopefully sometime in August is my guess, best guess. Hello from Croatia. Thank you, Luca. Esther, Rio Penn versus Blinken here. I forwarded you guys an email with some. Yes, Esther, I did. We know that all the concepts are redoing visas. Keep in mind, K1s are not the same type of visa as a tourist. K1 is treated as an immigrant visa as opposed to a non-immigrant visa. They're issuing tons of non-immigrant visas. We know that. When we get to that part of the lawsuit, the judge will go, what the hell are you people doing? I mean, you are letting visitors come in and you are not reuniting future spouses? This makes no sense whatsoever. But again, judges don't want to micromanage unless it's just really abusive, which this is, but we're getting there, okay? Reservation of visas is great because they can't get to 80% of the visas in 2 months. So you have to reserve visas. Fozzie, I know, I got you covered on this. I know. Let's see. After Egypt, Nepal have more DV winners, but overseas less than 2 hours. Why, sir? Well, maybe Nepalese aren't sending all their documents in. Maybe they're being racist and not bringing in Nepalese. I don't know. Great question. Maybe we'll get the judge to answer that. All right, Daria, good for you. Go. Run, Forrest, run. Has the Haitian TPS? No. This is what's crazy. They announced the Haitian TPS renewal almost 2 months ago, and they haven't reopened. Yesterday, they did tweet yesterday, we're getting close. I mean, this is crazy. You don't need to hire a lawyer. I mean, you don't need to hire a lawyer to fight for TPS. There's lots of pro bono services in Georgia, Catholic Charities, Latin American Association, lots of other places that will do TPS for just the filing fee. Remember, the filing fee is $4.95, although you can ask to be forgiven for that. All right. Let's see. Hamidullah, good to see you again. I hope you might know a couple of. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. And yes, I know. And so they're going to have to come with a solution, because why would we not leave SIVs behind and then not do DVs? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, if they're gonna ship out all the SIVs to third countries like Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan and where the heck is it, Stan? I don't know where they're going to send people. Guam. They should do the same thing for DV people, in my opinion. But again, I'm not the president and I don't run the agency, so they're probably not going to ask my opinion, Amadullah. Connor, good to see you. Everybody publishes daily DV visas. This website. Yes, I actually just discovered this website. We will, yeah, and I don't know who runs it either. Clearly, it's not being run by a State Department because they're not that, this. I've got Save Diversity Visas looking at it. And what's interesting about this is they're getting their data from State. So why doesn't State make it as easy to read as Save Diversity Visa? Good question. Will the Jacob lawsuit class motion impact positively others? I have no idea because it's a motion. It's not even part of our case. It's somewhere in the mail, flying between California and Washington, D.C., somewhere in the ether. But it has nothing to do with our case. Talk to those lawyers. How about Nori? I hope you're doing well. As you know about the U.S. Yes, I already know about that. Precious! Good to see you. All right, come on, we're going to win this. We got to win this. We have no choice. We have to win this. Let's see. A lot of duplicate. You don't have to ask the same duplicate questions. As you know, I get to the questions. It just clogs it up when you ask duplicate questions. Nikita, me and my wife wish you good. Thank you. There's a new CDC ban bringing dogs from rabies high-risk countries. Look, dude, go back and get the dogs later. Okay, just go back and get on. If you get the DV, you hop on an airplane and you come. You go to the next plane back. Now you have a green card. Go get your dogs. Okay? Really. I love dogs too. I really love them. I've had a lot of dogs in my life. Don't have one right now. I could use one. I could use a dog to hold and cuddle. Go back and get them. All right? That's what you should do. Let's see. Is there any update on the farm workers bill? Well, I did update that earlier. You must admit that. Here's the deal. We don't know. There was some sort of agreement, and supposedly something like this is in the Democrats-only infrastructure bill. But beyond that, we have no details. All right. Do I think Judge Mehta will reserve visas? Well, he'll reserve them for our clients, and other lawyers have lots of clients, so he may. And if the other lawyer's class action goes forward, he may reserve them for that too. Let's see. Hamadullah. Oh, you keep asking this, Hamadullah. Don't make me ban you. U.S. Greco just joined exercise. Excuse me, my question because well, no. If you're not a participant in a lawsuit, you're not getting relief. But there is a class action that's in the ether sphere that I just talked about. But keep in mind that 133,000 people are part of DV 2021. Only 55,000 get their green cards. 55,000 get their green cards. Could be a lot of disappointed people, no matter what. Let's see. Yes, Francois, Greg and I will be probably do an evening. It will depend on the flights when we leave and when we get back. If I miss my 5 o'clock flight, I'll probably do this from the airport with Greg. Presumably Greg is flying into the same airport as me in DC. And we'll talk about that. Thank you, Francois. I appreciate your support. Let's see. Do I expect a consolidation? I don't. Jess, if a judge reserves 30,000 21, well, they process in 2022, right? That's the next year. Tori Wong, Mr. Cook, if there is a live of Next Money, yes, we will share it on the Twitter machine. Okay. Hamza, do you think Judge made a mistake? Yes. And if you read our brief, you would see we explained to him that he made a mistake. And I will be bringing that up if he gives me a chance to do so on Monday. I had to prepare for 2 hearings, the DV 2021 and the DV 2020. Why in Morocco harder to interview to get? Well, the thing is that in Morocco is issued one of the highest numbers of DVs. So I don't know the answer to your question. So CEAC total today, 5864. Okay, well, I was using the numbers that were given to me. The number of, including dependents, because you can't not include dependents. If they've only issued 5864, including dependents, I mean, this is even more pathetic than we thought. Okay. Volcon. I try to live in D.C. I'm a brother and spouse of a Go plaintiff. Well, Volcon, that's a good question. Normally, yes, you would just come to the courthouse, but I don't think the courthouse is open to public. Volcon, I will ask that question and see if I can, and I will post the answer on the Twitter machine. All right, so go and pay it. Probably by Friday, I'll have an answer. Let's see. Any news in a Rio case? No. Redacted copies? Just email Lily is sending all that out, Sabrina. Just email Lily and she'll send that out. When are we going to get an answer? I don't know with Judge Kelly. I don't know. He's a busy judge. So I don't know how long. Well, hopefully not a long time. Faid, yes, there are, and no, we don't know what they are. Case numbers, Hamadullah. Again, tune into Britt Simon. He's the case number guy. Do I think the 2020? Oh yeah, there will be a funding bill. No doubt about that there will be a funding bill. The question is, what will be in the funding bill? And that's what I don't know. Hiba, good to see you. On today, House Appropriations Committee approved the fiscal year. Yes, Ming we know was included. Look, that amendment should easily pass, but it can't pass on its own. It's got to be part of the bigger package. It's part of the lobbying and work that we've done to try to get that passed. I know my representative voted for it, and I've talked to her a lot about it. Don't like talking about Muslim banish. Don't like talking about Muslim banish. Well, we have to relive the past to not repeat it. So let's make sure we can get those visas back. You're also incredible. Where in it? Dad, Igor, that's a great question. I don't know. But they're going to have to tell the court where Russians are going to go. Yeah, they're going to have to tell the court. Probably Kiev, because Kiev has been the most welcoming, but we'll see. How do I think? Now, I've answered this question before, Jingfu. I think the government will just look at first of all, the plaintiffs that didn't get numbers issued, because there should be issued the visas first. We've got 12, I think. Other lawyers have a few hundred of those. And then there are the people that are in line that are documentarily qualified. And I assume they'll take those in order and allocate them appropriately by country so that every country gets an equal share. But I don't know. That's how I would do it. Let's see. Good things in Albania. I got to come and get me some Albanian moussaka. All right. Okay. I think Swiss chocolate is better than Swiss cheese. But have you ever had Swiss cheese covered in Swiss chocolate? That's got to be good. That's got to be dark chocolate, of course. Let's see what else we got here. Los debe 2020 con visas vencidas. Bueno, Sonia, como tú sabes, yo estoy luchando por esto. Tenemos un clase pendiente ante el juez para que aprueben esto. No tienen que contar más visas. Y sería justo, porque toda esa gente pudiera haber hecho sus aprobaciones, pero muchos, por ejemplo, de Cuba, no podían salir durante septiembre. Hablaremos de esto con el juez. Okay. Let's see. Do I think all Go plaintiffs? Well, they should. They should. I don't know where the negative news is coming from, Celia. Not from me. There's always going to be negative ninnies running around. Oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Oh, life's terrible. Look, you got to be positive. You got to be positive if you want to be successful. You ever meet successful people who are negative all the time? No, you don't, because they don't exist. Okay. Marcos, good to show you. Yeah, any news? Marcos, no news. No news. It's not. I don't know if it's part of the reconciliation package or not. I don't know, but I have not heard anything. A brief about the bill. Sorry, I already talked about it. I don't have any news. There's no details. Do dogs understand elevators, or are they just like it's okay timing it the rule changer? That's a great joke, Kerm. I like that. I'm waiting on my 601A to be approved. I have DACA now. IP as well. Well, then, yeah, Connie, 601As are taking 18 to 24 months. Advanced parole is going to take 4 or 5 months. Do the advanced parole, go, come back, and get your green card here. Because the other problem, Connie, you get your waiver approved. If you're going to Mexico, it's another 2 years before you get an interview. Interviews are backlogged like crazy because they close for a year. So you get your advanced parole. You can call us. We can help with that. And of course, if you want to call us, that's the number you call. Because we do consults by Zoom, phone, in person all over the world. We're here to help you do your individual cases. We don't just sue the government. We also do immigration. That's also a little trick I've learned in my 30 years. All Nepalese are talking, really? All of them? That's amazing. Exactly my point. When it comes to the judge, all this BS will get ugly for them. Well, I agree. Let's see. Is the new bill in the House? Well, I know the main bill is, but the rest of the bill in the House has got lots of other stuff in it. Can you join Hacker? No. Hacker's closed. Should we wait like DB28 after December? Well, again, Harish, if the government appeals and if the Court of Appeals stays the case, you're going to have to wait. That's just how lawsuits work. But we are confident, 100% confident in this. Now, there's no guarantees in life. You know, the moon could fall into the ocean and we'll all die tomorrow. Probably not going to happen. Don't worry about it. So you work on a positive, okay? Oh, by the way, you need to give a like. If you're watching this on Facebook, you give us a like. If you're watching this on YouTube, you subscribe to the channel, all right? Any development in Congress, other than what I talked about? No. We are 249 selectees in Lebanon. Well, then we're going to get your visa. Golden Gate is back. You're welcome. Please link some free report. I don't have the list. I'm by myself here. Golden Gate. I would just use the Google machine. The Google machine will give that to you. Connie, did you answer my question? Yes, I did. I keep emailing Lily since day one. Wow. Esther, why don't you email me? Okay. And Lily. And you have to keep in mind, we have lots of these things going on. We've got a website we'll hopefully have up this next week. Jeff's in charge of it. He's on vacation. That'll have all this stuff on it. There's nothing in these that can reveal any secrets to you, the government. They just want to fight everything. In fact, they may even depress you reading it. It's 2:37 a.m. I will not sleep. Oh, no, you got to. Wong, go to sleep. Wake up refreshed tomorrow. It's another day. EB5 will be well, first of all, we don't have a reservation argument in our mandamus, and we can't change it now to do that. Okay, we could file a separate lawsuit, but we're not prepared to do that. 2, EB5 is going to come back. They're not going to let a program that brings billions of dollars a year in the United States disappear. It's not going to happen. Yes, Liz, that is Don Quixote. Nice of you to notice. I've got my screen's a little down for some reason. I guess I should. There you go. Now you can see Mr. Quixote better there in the background. Yes, that is a glass Don Quixote from Murano, Italy, the island of Murano outside of Venice. I've had it for a very long time. My wife got it for me as a gift. I'm a Go plaintiff and submitted my doctor's case. Look, a G28 is not going to make any difference in speeding up your case. I mean, I'm just telling you. You can hire us to do it, and we can be the thorn on their side, but we can't guarantee just a G28, which is all it is, hey, I'm his lawyer. They'll go, who cares? I mean, really. So you can hire us if you want to, and you know how to do that. All you got to do is llama este número por la consulta. You just call that number, and we'll take care of you. But there ain't no guarantees, my friend. Our last question here is from the U.S. Green Card Lottery. How about these are not plaintiffs? Do they have a chance? Well, first of all, again, there's a class action which covers everybody. And there, of course, is that Meng bill that says that they're going to have to use all the numbers. But, this is why you're a plaintiff. I mean, this is why you join a lawsuit. One of the lawsuits has like 20,000 people in it. So, this is why when a call goes out to sue them, don't hesitate. You don't lose by suing the government, ever. Even if you don't win, you don't lose, okay? Does winning mean a chance to interview for all plaintiffs? No, of course. All plaintiffs, oh, yes. Plaintiffs, yes. We believe that all plaintiffs will be interviewed, okay? I am 100% certain you're going to win. Christy, I'm going to end on that note with that great picture of you in what looks like Venice. It just looks like Venice to me. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'll be back on Monday night, not at 2 o'clock. Don't look for us at 2 o'clock on Monday. We will be in court. Greg may be live tweeting, but probably not since he will be in court. But I'm going to ask Aaron Hall. So at Imlaw Aaron, Imlaw Hall, at Imlaw Hall. You can follow him on the Twitter machine. I believe him and Lily will both be live tweeting the hearing. So everybody, until next week, we look forward to, of course, if you want to talk to me or any of our 12, 13 lawyers here, you call for an appointment and we will help you fix your case. Our job is to make America, because America is great already. We're going to make it greater with you. We make America every day. That's what we do here at Cook Baxter. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.